welcome to Atlanta Mix 108. Up next is Author Talk with your host, M.L.Ruscsak.
Welcome, Atlanta. We're here tonight with Lil Barcaski. She's an awesome author, and we're talking about why your women are leaving you for me, and how to get them back. It's a very interesting book, and welcome, Lil.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Now, this is practical adulting advice for men and some women. We know who you are out there. So it's a very interesting topic. And what motivated you to write this one?
Well, the book is humorous. I mean, it's meant to be humorous. And I, over the years of dating so many women that jump ship from men to women, so many people said to me, you should write a book, Why Your Women Are Leaving You For Me. I made a joke about it. I made the title. I said, yeah, I should write a book called Why Your Women Are Leaving You For Me. And it was an on-running joke with my friends for the longest time. And then, I actually started working as a ghostwriter and a worker with a publishing company, and I got more invested in actually writing the book to be funny and at the same time to address a lot of the issues of, we have the Me Too movement out right now, and, there's a lot of things I think that guys could benefit from, in a happy, more pleasant way to be spoken to than to be yelled at and told they're terrible or they're bad, but just to say, hey guys, let's look at this together. What's going on that you're having such a hard time, retaining women? Why are so many women dating other women, just giving up on dating altogether, getting a dog, a cat, a goldfish, whatever. So the joke really is, why are they leaving men for celibacy, no life, no relation? What is it? They're leaving men for a lot of reasons, and a lot of women are just opting to just quit on love. So I don't think that's cool. I think that there are a lot of great guys in the world that just probably need someone to maybe give them some fatherly advice, if you will. Coming from me sounds funny, but, that's okay. That's kind of what I did.
Sometimes the best advice comes from the unlikely person. So actually you saying they need fatherly advice coming from you, that sounds like a true good advice thing.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So. I always talk to guys. Guys have always gotten along better with women in some ways than men, and young men especially get a kick out of me. They always come to me with their problems and ask me questions. I've been around a long time, so I just thought I'd write a book for them and have fun with them and tell them, you guys can do better. I'm here for you. What do you need? So
right, and that's the best thing to do is be there to give them the advice, and hopefully they take the advice.
Yeah,
there's so many men that have so much potential out there. They do. They're diamonds in the rough, and they just need a little polish.
Right. And the fact that, I'm queer, I say I'm queer as opposed to a lesbian because I'm really not that invested in the gay community in the sense that I don't go to gay bars a lot. I'm with one woman. I do my thing. It's not like I'm not the Pride Parade flag waving gay person, I guess. I'm a bad gay person, but I more identify with my male energy than my female. My fiance identifies more with her female energy than her, far and away than her male. So we're a good fit for each other. We're yin and yang of one another. So women, obviously I've dated women and been with women all my whole life, but men find that intriguing. They talk to me and then they tell me their secrets too. So I'm kind of getting it from both sides. So I figured I might as well try to put it all together and see if I could be helpful.
See, I find talking to a gay person or lesbian, anyone in that community, a lot more easy to talk to with your problems than one of my straight friends. You guys, I don't know why. It's just either easier for me to open up to you. I don't know.
To men or women, though? Just more to the gay men or to gay women?
Both.
Okay. Well, good. That's good to know. Well, it's non-threatening, right? You know, they're not looking to be with you. You're not looking to be with them. I think if you said to like a straight guy, I'm having troubles with guys, you know, that possibility existed. He might go, well, I'd like to date you. Then you have to deal with that whole mess. You know, that's not what you probably want to do, right? So.
Exactly. That's the disconnect somewhere. That, or I'll pull my cousin who belongs to the LGTB community, and I'll call him, and I'm like, I need help. I need a guy's opinion, but I don't want a guy's opinion, if that makes any sense.
Well, yeah. No, well, look, gay men are still men. Lesbians are still women. You know, they still have those. There are things that they feel that, you know, like to me, like it's all about where your energy center lives. For me, my energy center really lives masculine. You know, I don't really identify very much female, so I might not be the best person for you to come to if you have, you know, girl questions. Although my daughter does. I have an adopted daughter who comes to me all the time, but she comes to me more for the father end of things than the mother end. She goes to my girlfriend for the mother stuff, you know, and she her own mother. But you know, I still have understanding of what females need and want. You know, I'm still biologically I'm female, but energetically I'm primarily male. You know, so I have more of the energetic, you know, center of that of maleness, I suppose. Oh.
Okay,
so
does
that makes any sense?
No, that makes perfect sense. It really does. So, in your opinion, where is the disconnect with the relationships today?
Oh boy, there's a bunch of things. I think the whole Me Too movement is interesting. I think that we are going to swing the pendulum really far in one direction, and some of that's going to be an overswing. I do think that, especially older men tend to do things that I find appalling, and somebody needs to try to tell them, but they're trained for it. Like, older men have a tendency to call women things like honey and sweetie and, you know, that kind of thing, which they wouldn't do to a man. They wouldn't call a man, you know, by a childish, you know, I don't know what you want to call it, a little childish nickname. But they do that because they think they've been taught that that's okay. It's really not okay. You know, especially in a professional setting, you don't say, oh, honey, get me that cup of coffee. You know, that's not cool. But I think that we also do have, from the right side of that, the other side of that pendulum, we have the Harvey Weinsteins, you know, guys who've been abusing power for a lot of time. And the swing is in the middle somewhere. Because most guys have been allowed to get away with abusing the power that they have because we let it happen. But I think the disconnect is that women are getting tired of that. They're getting tired of feeling less than and getting paid less than and all that. And then they go to meet a man, and, you know, the disconnect is men, I think, have not been taught to listen, to pay attention to women, to gauge where a woman is before they put their foot in their mouth, you know. Mm-hmm. So there's that. I think men have privilege. They have a lot of privilege, especially white males have a lot of privilege. And that's okay, but we have to look at it and say, okay, how do we balance that in any way, shape, or form, especially in a relationship? And if you find a woman who likes that about you, then you got the right girl. That's fine. But I think a lot of women are starting to go, you know, I want to have a job, a career. I mean, I want all these things. It's ridiculous that at this day and age I have to say words like I want a career. Of course you do. I mean, why would you want to stay home? You know, if you want to stay home, fine. But I think that finding the right person has a lot to do with men, especially from the male point of view, of not being quite as lazy, taking a little better care of themselves, being a little bit more attentive to women, being a little bit more willing to listen without trying to fix everything, and starting to understand when they shoot their mouth off that some of the things they're saying and doing are inappropriate. And that could be, if they start to think that way, they'll probably find more women attracted to, interested in getting to know them better, and find that footing before you show your colors. You know what I mean? I talked to a guy the other day, and he said something about having his girlfriend on a short leash. And I said, and he was a good guy, but he just meant that he lost her because she moved away from him, and she was no longer on a short leash. And I said, listen to the words you just said. You know, you're saying, you know, basically you're using like an animal version, right? You're saying she needs to be on a leash. So it's just looking at our vocabulary, it's looking at how we speak to one another, it's paying attention, that sort of thing.
Now, what's your take on two people, doesn't matter, gay, straight, doesn't matter, they've been together, and all of a sudden, one or the other starts earning more than the other one that previously was the known breadwinner? How does that play in the relationship?
Well, that's a great question. No one's ever asked me that. Lots of interviews, no one's ever asked me that. So my mom always made more money than my dad my entire life, which was unusual, those days. But she never told him that she made more than he did. I don't think he ever saw her salary. She had her own bank account. He had his own bank account. They had a joint bank account for things like the mortgage and the electric bill. But they each kept the bank account. So the first thing I would tell you is have separate accounts. So young people out there, if you're listening to me and you want to get married, you're so in love, you get a joint bank account, that's great. Keep the joint bank account for certain things, and then keep separate accounts. If you think your husband or your wife, especially I think more with males and females, right? If a wife suddenly starts to make a lot more money than the male, if you think he's going to be upset with that, you don't really need to tell him first off. Okay, you need to put your money in your account and pay your part of the bill, like you would anyway. But it's something you really need to express to him, like, I got this great job, I got a big salary, I'm going to be able to do things for us that I couldn't do before. Then you're going to have to tread through that, because men do have a big ego. And that is something that really, ego is the problem in general. I think the male ego that, has to learn how to not be upset when a female does something they can't do is something that has to be worked on, because we foster that as a community. As a cultural country, we push that, we absolutely feed the crap out of the male ego. So I think if you approach it with, like, this is our money, we're going to have more money, we're going to be able to do more things, we're going to be able to breathe a little easier, and don't shove it down their throat to make them feel bad, like, nah, I got more money than you, then I think that you have to approach it in a very genteel way with, and with men, I tend to hate to say, but stereotypically sounding here, but I think most women rejoice when their man makes more money. Don't get upset about that. Not unless they're really very strong competitors in business and one of them gets promotion over the other one or something like that. And then you have to deal with ego. And women have egos too. Just be gentle with each other's ego.
Thank you. I think more people need to hear that. But it's just I wanted another opinion on how to word that, because people that I talk to, they run into this situation a lot. I'm like, well, there's a couple of ways you can handle it, but at the same time, it's your choice. But be gentle with each other. Sudden money changes are never a pleasant conversation. It doesn't matter if it's plus money, minus money. I find those conversations are never easy.
Nope, they're not easy with anything. That's the biggest reason people break up is over money. It's the biggest reason most contracted positions fail. Like if you own a company, you fail because you're afraid to ask for the right amount of money, for what you do, for your services. It's the reason a lot of businesses go under that are run by solopreneurs or small companies, because they're afraid to ask for what they're worth, especially women-owned businesses. Women are always afraid to ask for the value of what they're worth. They're afraid to say, I'm $100 an hour, I'm $200 an hour, for women to say, to raise their prices, and that flows into everything, basically, I think.
Right. We fall into the trap, well, I don't want to make it too expensive where people won't come to me, but at the same time, if you're not valuing your work at the right price, no one's going to value your work because it's too cheap.
Right. If you don't value you, they don't value you. A buddy of mine is a record producer. He's a very well-known record producer, more of a recording engineer. And when he first started doing engineering, he was doing songs for like $500 a song. And he got a manager that said to him, I'm going to raise your prices to $5,000 a song. And he said, are you crazy? He said, no, trust me. And when he was doing the $500 a song, guys, the musicians would say to him, I don't like the drums there. That doesn't sound so great. Can you fix this? The guy went and said it's $5,000 a song. He immediately began booking him, and none of those people ever gave him a hard time. The people who paid the $5,000 assumed that he was, and he is. He has 7 Grammy Awards. He's the deal. He's the real deal. But and this guy saw that value. The guy who managed him said, this guy has that kind of talent. I'm raising his prices by 10 times. 10 times.
Right.
And overnight he was, rich. He was making $5,000 for every single song he recorded. So, I mean, the value of you'll be surprised how quickly that goes up. And in relationships, the same thing is true. If you value yourself, some of the book is just plain funny. I talk about shaving your beard clean and getting good shoes and how to get cleaning supplies for your house. I give crazy tips. I was a chef for a long time. I have a whole bunch of recipes in the back. Easy stuff you can make for a woman while she's in bed. Here, bring her this French toast. She'll never leave you. You know what I mean? So if you as a guy value that you're clean, your house is clean, your office is clean, your car is clean, you have clean clothes, you take a shower when you come home from work, if you show yourself some value, she's going to value you more too. And, if she values herself and you pick a woman who values herself, you're going to have a good relationship, Right. And you have to value her as well. You have to see the value and not just assume she's there to take care of you. She's not your mother.
Right.
So.
That's another point is, guys, if you help clean your own house, that goes a long way. The woman you're with is not your mom. She's not there to pick up after you. Help clean. That goes a long way to anything.
Right. I have whole chapters on that. I have a whole chapter on talking about how sex gets killed because, you don't want to have sex with your mom, and then you turn your wife into your mom, and then it just dies. And also doing chores and helping out without being asked. Just ask her, can I take out the dry cleaning? Do you need some dry cleaning brought in? Or, just sweep the place. Do something without being asked, and, she'll be pretty surprised. And pick up after yourself. Don't expect somebody to be your mother. So there's a whole lot of fun, like I said, I say it in a fun way, not in a way to berate anybody or make anybody feel bad. It's to become aware of things you're not thinking about. We're walking around in a coma. We're all walking around in a coma trying to make bills. We're all stuck trying to make our bills. I think a lot of guys are stressed about money because they're not making enough and they're working 2 jobs sometimes. Sometimes we run in this, we forget. We don't see what we don't see the dirt around us. And guys are very. Honestly, I'm this way. I have to think about the dirt around. I need to clean. You know what I mean? I don't have the female mindset of cleaning that way sometimes, and I have to make myself do it and see it. And if you see it, then you go, oh my God, like I haven't done the dishes for 3 days. But guys they're like they walk past it like they're in a fog. So just trying to get them to think about those things. And I watched a guy get out of a car. Well, actually, it's funny. I watched a guy try to let a girl into a car. He opened the door for her, and I thought, what a gentleman, how nice. He's opening the car for her, and she wants him to do that, which is not everyone does, but she did. Beautiful blonde girl, nice-looking fella. They look like a lovely couple. And I thought he was opening the car door to let her in and be a gentleman. No, he was opening the car door for her because there was so much junk in his car, she couldn't possibly have sat in it. And he just threw it on the ground at the Chili's, at the restaurant. He just tossed like McDonald's bags and crap all over the ground. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Because there was nowhere for her to sit. This lovely girl to sit in his car. He had to dump all the crap out of it. I mean, like, okay, guy, like, what were you thinking? Where's your brain? So that's the kind of thing I try to talk to her. Like, don't do that stuff. Take a good look around and assess where you are. And that's part of the reason a girl comes to your house one time and it stinks and the dishes and the things. She's not coming back. You're not getting that girl back. Not likely.
See, me and my husband were a little bit different. He used to clean. He has to have things clean. Me, I'm so focused on everything else that I have to have my attention drawn to cleaning. That's just me, though. That's the way I've always been.
That's good. You found your match. You found somebody that works with your energy.
Right.
That's perfectly good.
It's a weird match for us, but it works.
No, that's good. That's great. That's a great match.
It doesn't matter.
How long have you been married? Have you been married a while?
We've been married 6 to almost 7 years.
Terrific. Good for you.
Yeah, he has to remind me, hey, we haven't cleaned for a while, or this hasn't been done, or he's disabled and can't always help do the cleaning, but he can point me to, hey, can we get some dusting done today, or something like that. So it's really cool. I don't think about those things. I'm happy.
That's good.
Dishes are done and laundry's done. I'm happy.
It's a good start. Good for you.
But it goes to show, too, it doesn't matter who's doing the cleaning, just help. Either side can do
just be helpful.
Yeah.
Right. Be helpful, be courteous, start to think a little bit about the children you have. If you have children that, they're your kids too, that's not only on her. She can't do everything. Got to give her a break,
Right. In today's society, we find a lot more blended families.
Yes.
If the child's in the house, it's your child. It doesn't mean you fathered or mothered it. It's your child. It's in the house. Treat the child as you would your own. That goes a long way to whoever the parent is, I guess you can say.
Right. The biological parent.
Yes.
And I have a whole section on that as well. I talk about, there's a section called They're Your Kids' Kids too, basically. It's pretty much a chapter title. But I do break it down, like if it's your child, it's her child, if it's your child together. If, you have mixed, if sometimes she has a child, you have a child, and then there's a child that you made later. You came in with one, she came in with one, have her, and then you had more children, so now you've got this mixture of, well, that one's mine, and this one's ours. Like, well, no, you've got to figure out how they can all be ours. That's the ours word is important. And it's not easy. It is not easy to do. It sounds like simple, but it's not.
No, then you add in the other biological parent sometimes, not always.
Right. I bring that up too.
You have to learn to coexist for the sake of the child and for the sake of your relationship. Because if you're fighting over the child, what strain are you dealing with your relationship?
No, you see that a lot. You see, situations where the father is the father to one child, and then the other child is some other guy's father, and he's trying to be a father, but he doesn't have the same feelings for that guy's son that he has for his daughter. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It happens, and the other guy's son gets left out, the other guy's daughter, whoever gets left out a lot because you're not going to have the same feelings, and it's understandable. This one came from you. You're going to have a different feeling than that one, but you can learn to assimilate those feelings. So you can learn to sort of adapt those feelings as much as conceivably possible and start to be self-aware. I think the biggest thing is we're not self-aware. And I understand why. We're all exhausted. It's very hard to be aware of oneself when we're just so busy trying to tread water. When you're treading water, it's really hard to see the shark.
Mm-hmm.
You're so busy trying not to drown, and your nose is up to the water line, and you're treading like a madman, and you're starting to get cold and you're numb. You don't see the school of shark coming at you. You can't see it. So many men are blindsided. They think they're doing fine with their families. Everything's great. And one day their wife turns to them and says, I'm done. Get out. And they don't even know what they did. In all honesty, they don't, because they're just so busy treading water that they didn't see the shark.
Right. And sometimes it takes just sitting down and having a candid conversation, too, to get someone to see this before you say, I'm done.
Right.
Right. Sit down for 5 minutes. Don't yell, don't scream, just put your feelings out there.
Right. Your feelings, be honest about your feelings, and not hurtful. I think the watchword for the rest of this year, going into the next couple of years, needs to be choose kindness. And we don't choose kindness enough. We have to choose kindness. One of my friends is getting a divorce, a young couple, and she wants a divorce. He does kind of too, but she's, they need a divorce for now because they got married too quickly, too young, and they may get back together. And she said to me, remember, financially, it's foolish for us to not get divorced right now. If she has a child, it's not his. She needs to, to have better. If he gets a good job, the tax bracket's going to screw them up, and they're fighting, and they're not. And she said she wrote those eloquent things to him about, I do love you. I don't want to hurt you. Someday maybe we'll get married. We'll do a real big wedding like we should have done to begin with. But you have to go find yourself, and I have to find myself a little more. And she wrote this beautiful, eloquent, kind note to him, and read it to me. And I thought, this is a kid who's got her act together at 25, and just knows that she's not ready to be in this relationship, and she wants to take the time to let him grow up. He's 2 years younger, and he's just not there. At 23, he's not there yet. And I think he's a great guy. He's just not ready. So everybody has to kind of choose that way. You could, instead of yelling and screaming, at 25, your instinct is to yell, get out, but if you choose kindness and feel like you understand the other person's going to be miserable, they want to be with you, you don't want to be with them, it's not the easiest thing. but sometimes it's the right thing. So,
right.
And I think with my book, a lot of men don't know how to be kind. We haven't taught them to be kind. We haven't taught them to be stand-up guys. It's our fault. It's the fault of mothers who dote on them. It's the fault of mothers who, it's a sad thing. So many women are single moms, and they turn their son into their husband, the surrogate. They turn into the, surrogate for those things instead of not that they have sex with them or anything, God forbid, but they treat their sons like the absentee father, the absentee boyfriend, and they let them sit on the couch and play video games while their sisters, their mother's daughters, are running around cleaning the house and making food and doing everything else. And my friend Trish put a great thing in my book that women, mothers, raise their daughters and date their sons, and that's very true. They act like their sons are their boyfriends, and their daughters are their daughters and have to be raised. And I've seen it to this day. I see it in families where girls are running around taking care of things while the boys are sitting on the couch, and it's allowed. And it's, I hate to say it, but in the deeply religious families, it's even worse. Because in the very, very religious families, Christian, Jewish, even Catholic sometimes, but certainly, particularly the Christian faith, not to slur that, but the male is the leader. He's supposed to be the honored one, and so the girls run around doing all the chores, and then sit there and wait for somebody to wait on them because they're supposed to become the head of the family, and they're training for that position, which means wives are subservient, and it's not a good place to be. You train them young like that, they don't ever get any better.
Exactly. And I babysit also, and the little boy that I babysit, I'm running into the problem. Well, you see, my daughter's helping do some of my chores. Why can't you help her? Take 2 seconds. You can come away from your video game for 2 seconds. So I'm kind of leaning him to learn how to be helpful.
How old is he?
He's 9.
Yeah, that's an age where he should already be. Not good. That's a bad. He's already forming a very bad set of habits. I like to say often that we're fully formed at 5, and you get past the age of 5. If you haven't started to train kids to be a certain kind of person, it's difficult to untrain them. It really is. And we spoil the hell out of little boys. We really do, because they're cute and they go, they don't mean it, whatever. And then they, and I'm not beating up on guys. I think it's not their fault. If somebody did all your laundry, took care of everything, and never made you do any chores, would you rush to do them?
Exactly.
No one can blame you. No one's taught you to do them. No one said you have to do this, or you don't get to play that video game, or you don't get ice cream, or you don't get anything. It's just you have to be raised, and I think a lot of our male figures are in such jeopardy themselves, and so and worse in certain communities than others, but they're in such jeopardy themselves that they're not there for themselves. I don't know how they can teach a son to be a man if they can't be one themselves, because they haven't got that going on. They've been emasculated, they've been destroyed, And again, they're tired and they're working so hard they can't think straight, or they just plain don't know any better. So it's hard to raise kids in general, but sons are hard. It's not easy.
Exactly. I would love to continue this conversation, but unfortunately we're out of time for the night. So I would like to thank you for being on the show.
No, I appreciate being on. I hope that you'll mention or show my book cover to people. I'd love for people to go on Amazon and buy it. It's available on Amazon, Why Your Women Are Leaving You For Me, and How to Get Them Back by Lil Barcaski. And you can easily find it on Amazon. We have an ebook and a regular book available. So if anybody's interested, please pick up a copy and give it to that nephew that's sitting on the couch. Not the or the brother of yours that is still 40 years old and can't find a girl. I think it might help him out.
Yes, or the uncle.
Laugh. I promise you'll laugh. It's pretty funny stuff. As much as I don't sound like it is really a very humorous book. So it's meant to be.
Oh, it is. I get to read through a few pages of it here and there, but it is really insightful, and I recommend this to anyone that has a male in their life or needs a bit of humor in your life. So,
great. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you again, Lil, and good night, Atlanta.